Good evening, guys. Welcome back to GEST Dota 2 Rising Stars Qualifier. We are here with Xplicit up against Pacific.Emaxx, and we're also here with some very unconventional picks. But more importantly, we're here with LD from Dota Commentaries. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. And you are right with these unconventional picks. This is my favorite hero in the entire world of Dota, the Gyrocopter. Which
Really?
was I didn't even know he's gonna be picked because there was a remake, as you're mentioning. This hero so good on paper. In theory, his flat cannon is absolutely amazing. Generally, he has a couple of weaknesses. He's pretty squishy. He's got to be in close to do damage. But being in close against Riki, against Wisp, against TA is almost certain death. So we'll have to see. Generally, it's a hero that needs a very good start, but he's got some good farming potential. And the Rocket Barrage is great at dealing with Refraction. Refraction is pretty much useless as long as that goes off. So we'll see how the pick works, man. But I gotta say, with this pick and the Prophet, if they want to go for some global cheese split pushing, you can rush the Aghanim Scepter and just get the Prophet Necro Book or Aghanims up. This is an exciting pick. Let's see if they can make it work.
Yeah, I mean, Wisp Riki is also really as exciting as it gets. Interesting to see they've gone for the Chen as well. Then you've got your typical trademark Pinoy TA. That's going to be actually at the mid lane, so TA versus Queen of Pain. Pretty even matchup. Queen of Pain has that Shadow Strike to help deal with the Refraction, but still a decent matchup for both those two heroes. No hero with a significant advantage. But this winner at top lane, I feel like he's going to struggle. I mean, Gyrocopter, with the Missile plus Rocket Barrage, that's a good way of dealing with a long lane Windrunner.
What you can do is you can shoot the missile and keep her out of range, but realistically, they're probably not hitting the combo just because the rocket takes so long to actually start moving.
Yep.
During which time she can run away. But here comes the Edict and the rocket. Nice body boss by Kayuchi, and Windrunner will be forced to pop that Windrun. The rocket's gonna come in, and the farther you run from this missile, the more it's gonna hurt. Plink! And that's something we'll be seeing a lot more. Like you said, she's gonna have a tough time here. She's probably not gonna die, at least not early on, but she's also not gonna be able to sit in lane. As soon as the rocket gets dropped, you gotta run back to tower.
Oh yeah, and we're actually seeing a lot of harass down to this Templar Assassin at mid lane as well. So both Templar Assassin and Winner are really being pressured in their respective lanes. It's only really this bottom lane which should go well for Pacific.Emaxx, but Riki, he hasn't gone for any HP regen at level 1, and also this lane's already been pulled back to the Prophet's tower, so Prophet's going to have a pretty happy time getting some farm, some XP here. So all three lanes looking to be in a decent position for Xplicit, I feel.
Yeah, apparently my volume is still a little bit quiet. I tried turning up a tiny bit on my end, but mostly I think you just got to try and turn yourself down, and then maybe everyone can turn the stream volume up. But while you're doing that, Gyrocopter
should be all good.
The lead farmer of this game. Yeah, Riki 8-0, not really being contested in the bottom lane too much. It's an off-lane Prophet, and the nice thing about off-lane Prophet, especially when you've got this Enchantress in the jungle, is if you want to just go push the top lane, you can do so. Shadow Strike harass on this TA. I gotta say, Butterfat doing a fantastic job in this matchup. The early levels are a lot easier for Queen of Pain. Once Refraction gets leveled up, once the bottle crowing commences, if that's what Cyan chooses to go for, it will get more difficult. But so far, so good for the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, and this Windrunner has had enough of this top lane. It's actually joined up with the Chen, so we're going to see some dual jungle Windrunner plus Chen comboing. And yeah, I really feel like the Leshrac is the Edict is a great thing. You can just follow the Windrunner. Even when you use the Windrunner, you can stay close enough so that it's still doing damage. And there's just so many abilities which can pressure Windrunner out of this top lane. Rocket, the homing missile, whenever it's cast, forces Windrunner to run back to the safety of the tower. So, Windrunner, this jungle with Chen is really going to slow down Chen's XP and gold gain as well. So it's not really good for either of those two heroes.
Yeah, you're completely right with that. And the bottle crowing commences middle lane. Now, Cyan going to be bottle crowing, just got his. Butterfat's already had his. The second bottle the second refill of the bottle will be coming out as soon as that courier gets on the way. Maybe waiting for something else for a teammate. We'll have to see. Not multiple couriers yet, though. So there's a little bit of bottle crowing going on, but they're just using the courier for themselves. The junglers don't really need it too much early on, and Gyrocopter can get whatever he needs from the side shop. Same for the Riki and the Wisp. So they're okay for the moment. They can just use these couriers independently. I gotta say though, Riki Wisp, when you don't keep this combo down early, it usually seems to come back to haunt you in the mid game. So far, they're being left unattended. Yes, Gyrocopter is getting free farm right now, but he's a hero that generally needs a lot of items to be effective in the mid game. Whereas Riki Wisp, you pretty much just need 6 on the Wisp, maybe an urn, your basic boots, Riki with his power treads, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of items is an understatement. I've never seen a Gyrocopter successfully carry a competitive game, so this would be a first for me. I've seen Zenith try it once and fail. I don't think they ran it. Well, they kind of did run it as at least a safe lane farmer, which is what we're seeing here. You've got some semi-carry potential in Queen of Pain and Prophet, but it's not normally a successful strategy. And I mean, Queen of Pain is now no longer on top of this mid lane since the bottle crowing has begun. Queen of Pain doesn't really have the same luxury, so for the moment, it's Templar Assassin who's managed to catch up a bit in farm and XP.
And you know, the thing about this TA is she doesn't have to shoulder the load entirely by herself because there's the Riki Wisp combo. She can show up late to the fights. The Cloud, the Tether Stun can help her chase effectively. She doesn't have to have a really dominant start. She just has to stay alive, not die. And the one thing I would really like to see from Xplicit in the next couple minutes is start pressuring towers. They have the Enchantress, they have the Prophet, they have the Shrek, like you talked about, eat a great for Zoni Windrunner out of the lane. Same with the missile as well. This top tower, honestly, I feel they could have already gotten 2 towers top. They can certainly still do so if they want to, but for the moment, just very slow and steady. Looks like the tier 1 will finally drop down top. The missile connects. Oh, do they want to go on this? Nah, the splitter. Just Gyrocopter not in range right now. And the one thing I was actually curious is what build will he be going for? He is maxing flat cannon, so going for that mid-game DPS. The anti-push will be pretty strong. Not opting for stats yet. Sometimes you'll see players, if they really want to focus on the carry build, you won't even level up Rocket Barrage. Maybe you max the missile, but you definitely get some points and stats because Gyrocopter, like we were talking about, is a very frail hero.
Yeah, I mean, the maxing flat cannons is really interesting. Like, even when I see even the carry gyrocopters I often see, they still go for Rocket Barrage just because it's so great. I mean, this is an aggressive trialing. Rocket Barrage is where most of the DPS is coming from, even homing missile. Flat cannons to me is all about the push as well. I mean, it's just for clearing out those creep waves quickly. And, I mean, yeah, not really having any DPS or hero kill potential. Windrunner maybe expects there to be more points in some of these other skills, but Black Cannon's going to help give them the ability to push down these towers. And the 2 fast towers, like you talked about, they're going for it. They've already chipped down this tier 2 nice and low. Kayuchi narrowly avoiding death from a power shot there, so taking a lot of damage from that tower.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the nice thing is Gyrocopter can just continue to sit at this lane and pressure for the moment, but that is a big for the moment, because Riki, once he gets up to level 6, once the, mainly once the Wisp is level 6, then things get a lot dicier. Still only 4 on each of those. Gyrocopter right now is the lead farmer in the game. The one thing I would really like to see, if you're going to max Flat Cannon, it's really effective to stack Ancients. We are seeing Prophet start to do it now, but I feel he could have done this earlier. You could already have 4 stacks in that camp and be basically looking at a Gyrocopter. You know, throw in the Enchantress creeps, throw in the Treants, the tank, and Gyrocopter can farm the entire thing, but here comes that TA. This is a dangerous gank for her. She's up against Edict. She's up against Rocket Barrage. Refraction will do nothing for her, and she is going to be forced back. There comes the missile. Are they going to give chase? They are. They don't have detection. That will be the end of the fight, but you can already see that refraction ain't going to do too much for you against Leshrac and against Gyrocopter.
Yeah, it's not really enough. I mean, that was TA spending a lot of time coming towards his top lane, looking for a gank. The fact they don't get it, I mean, all Gyro had to do was pop that missile and force them back. Prophet does TP in, but that's Prophet who wasn't really accomplishing much at bottom lane. I mean, can't even lane against Riki at this point in the game with Riki's really strong start. I mean, all he was doing is stacking those Ancients, or at least starting to. So, Emaxx, I mean, you mentioned you don't shut down the Riki Wisp early, it does come back to bite you in the mid game, and I mean they haven't. Riki, I mean, he's not the most farmed in the game, but he's only just behind that Gyrocopter, so he's looking very, very good. And once Wisp hits that level 6 as well, you'll be sure they'll be pretty much everywhere on the map.
You know, I was saying they should have stacked the Ancients sooner, but what they did is actually just stack these regular camps in the jungle. This was a triple stack or maybe a quad stack over at the easy pull camp, and then look at the big camp over close to the Dire tier 2 mid, or the Scourge tier 2 mid if you're coming from Dota 1. They are stacking these jungle camps, so the plan looks to be get an outrageously farmed Gyrocopter. It looks like he's even going for Helm of the Dominator so he can get his own creep to stack even more. So they think they can outcarry this lineup. Riki TA, pretty terrifying in the mid game, but I guess if your Gyrocopter gets big enough, maybe you can deal with it. It'll land first blood. Butterfat assassinates the Windrunner, and it looks like he should be able to get away.
Yeah, TA cannot keep up with him, and interesting to see the Arcane first on Queen of Pain, giving him the mana he needed for that combo. I mean, he can later turn that into something like a Bloodstone, but just Arcane on its own, not a really super common item for TA, and for Queen of Pain, TA will find the DD rune at top, but TA now, Edict Leshrac, if this stun lands, ooh, luckily for TA, it did not in fact land. TA trying to bait the Leshrac to come on up and try to maybe turn that one around, but Leshrac will return back to the mid lane, and yeah, First Blood strikes, and it's Xplicit's way, so with the really farmed Gyrocopter, who's going to get exponentially out of control because of all these creep stacks, I mean, this is the start Xplicit need when you've got a Gyrocopter, one of the lesser effective carries in the game.
Yeah, you know, he's got the Flat Cannon, but it's not like he has evasion or crit or bash or any sort of, you know, big scaling spell, but here comes the stacking, and he's going to get real rich real quickly. I'm curious what he goes for from here. You know, oftentimes we just see flat damage items like Yasha, Crystallis. Shadow Blade would not be a terrible choice this game. The move speed, and also if you ever get clouded, you can pop the Shadow Blade, and as long as they don't have detection, you can walk away. We've seen Gyrocopters go for that before, but we'll see what he wants to go for. I guess the big thing is, whatever he wants to go for, he's going to be able to get it pretty quickly at this rate.
Yeah, my one gripe with Gyrocopter as a character, he's got really bad strength gain. He's really squishy at all points in the game. You're kind of forced to go for a BKB, but bottom lane, Ricky with the combo has begun. They take out Nature's Prophet, and that's a hero who can have such a great global presence, but against a Ricky Wisp combo, you can't really afford to do that anywhere on the map. TA now trying to go in, trying to get Queen of Pain. The magic wand keeps him alive. Double kill actually goes the way of Cyan, and that's the stand-in. That's the guy playing instead of Biobus. That's like one of the managers for Pacific Esports, so he shows he can play Dota as well.
You know, I was giving him a little flack last game for that Windrunner in the chat, mostly just tongue-in-cheek, but yeah, like you said, he's playing very well right now. And he didn't have the easiest lane. Gyrocopter up to 80 CS, but you know, the downside of this hero, like we were talking about, generally you need a lot of items before you can really make an impact. He does have some good nuke damage, and it looks like he's not going to sit there and farm. He wants to protect this bottom tier 1, and I gotta say, this is an important tower to protect, because if it goes down, farming those Ancients gets a lot more dangerous. So I think this is a good rotation. Now, as I say that, if he gets picked off here, it won't be so good, and GoDz, he might be in trouble. No, the tether is going to break, but they may be setting up to go again.
They want him. Test of Fate's going to lead things off TA. The trap doesn't land though, and here comes the backstab from TA. Not the best, but in goes Ricky. Perfect Smoker, and Queen of Pain ultimate's even better. Takes that one, takes out Ricky. Whistle drop as well. Queen of Pain, the perfect time to rotate. And this is a big slaughter. 4 heroes drop. Gyrocopter ultimate not even needed, and well, that went bad very, very quickly for Pacific.
That's putting it mildly, man. I gotta say, Xplicit knew what was up there. They knew that Pacific.Emaxx wanted to dive that tower, wanted to be aggressive. They baited it beautifully. And again, this TA pick, we've seen the TA play well. We saw the double kill, but if they're all in position with the Edict, the Rocket Barrage, and just the other auto attacks from heroes, the summons from the Prophet and the Enchantress, you really are not going to be able to do too much in these fights. You know, maybe this is where you just have to go for something like a BKB right away. After your Blink Dagger, just to try and tank up, deal with all the magical damage, because right now, she's melting.
Yeah, and look at this item choice. Prophet has actually gone straight for a Ghost Scepter to help deal with this Ricky Wisp combo, so not wasting any time, like thinking, oh, I'll just get my Midas before a Ghost Scepter, I'll just get my Midas or some other item like a Force Staff. It's straight Ghost Scepter, no questions asked. With Ricky, they're already level 6, they don't need items, all they need is that level 6, and then they can just hunt Prophet anywhere on the map. So straight Ghost Scepter could be an item build that really keeps Nature's Prophet alive this game.
Yeah, I love seeing items like that, whether it's a Ghost Scepter or Force Staff, even something like a Yule Scepter. That's how you deal with the Riki Wisp combo, and just with Riki in general. It's known, I think, affectionately as the GG cloud in some circles, because when that cloud gets dropped, it's usually GG for that fight and possibly for your team. But if you get these cheap utility items like the Ghost Scepter, like the Force Staff, even the Yule Scepter, you can deal with Riki. And I gotta say, we didn't see too much of that when we saw Riki Wisp in the GST for Dota 1. But the item selection here will be very important. So far, glad you pointed that out. It's a good choice. This Gyrocopter, he is getting fat, man. Look at the net worth right now. Almost 1,700 gold ahead of the next closest hero. And they're not ganking him. You know, he's not on the map most of the time. He's at the Ancients. It's been dewarded just to make sure there's not a lane ward, so there's no danger of him getting picked off. Pressure comes in mid lane, 4 heroes pressuring, and they're gonna make a go on Tan here, sprouted up. Oh, this could be the death of him. The tower goes down, Enchantress will last hit that one. Windrunner still running, in comes the TA, once 813, where's the backup? Where's the help? Where's the heal? It's on cooldown, the Split Earth will connect. Cyan in a world of trouble. No, the first one to go down.
Oh, Wisp Ricky arrived. Oh man, Nature's Prophet, even with that Ghost Scepter, it's only going to keep him alive so long. He will still go down. Windrunner is there. He did remain alive throughout all that, and they've taken out two. The Ghost Scepter, it's also on Queen of Pain. All these heroes going Ghost Scepters to deal with the TA as well as the Ricky. Oh man.
Dude, this is so cheeky. Now, the one downside to going for the mass Ghost Scepters, well, for the Queen of Pain, also, it should be pointed out, I would not be surprised to see an Ethereal Blade after this. We've seen that Ethereal Blade Queen of Pain before. Yep. That was from a Pinoy team, but it wouldn't surprise me entirely. The one downside, though, is you can't use a TP scroll while you're in Ghost Scepter form. So like you said, sometimes it only delays the inevitable.
Gyrocopter just got a huge stack of Ancients as well. He's now up to 7k net worth. The next closest is below 5k, and that's on his team. So he is so far ahead of every other hero on this map. maybe not so much XP-wise, but farm-wise, he is just storming the front and looking maybe to get some kills now. Ricky is waiting for him at bottom lane. The courier is actually going to give away the fact that Ricky's probably there, though.
Oh,
And
no.
Wisp,
Oh, no. That Wisp is so royally screwed. Or not! What a tether! Are you kidding me? The cloud gets dropped, silencing up Kayuchi. Are they going to go back in? The tether stun is there, but Queen of Pain assassinates the Wisp. And without Ricky's best friend, Ricky has to book it out of there. The dust did not hit him, it only caught the Wisp. They thought they were both lurking in the shop. And I gotta say, if they were both there, that would have been an absolute disaster. But they only lose the Wisp. Not really the biggest loss. Middle lane, Cyan gets caught out again. Shackle shot onto nothing. Really way off there with that one. Cyan, Queen of Pain, thinks about the ult. Pulls it back in for the moment. They're trying to remove these refraction charges. I think Screaming Pain goes out. TA comes out of the trap, wants to make a go, but the Ghost Scepter just saving him time after time. Shackle onto the Prophet. TA still taking damage. Queen of Pain ult, not going to connect. Refraction does the trick, and the Ghost Scepter will allow him to get away in the end.
And Ricky, meanwhile, bottom lane picks off Lestrak. He wants more. This could be the end of the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter's going to fight his way out of this. Oh man, he hurts. He is hurting already, and that's just with Phase Boots, Yasha, and a Helm of the Dominator. Oh, Ricky! 20 HP! Oh man, he's flirting with death, and it looks like Gyrocopter's going to pay for this.
Oh, what a ballsy play by Jin!
Yeah.
Ricky.
That was risky.
Oh, man.
One flat cannon hit could have finished him off when he revealed himself, but he timed it so he got the last hit, and now he's going to run his way out there, and the dust had been used. It looks like Ricky does not get scattered out by it. Wow, some ballsy play indeed.
You know, I gotta say, in that mid lane, it looked like Prophet. I guess you can use your teleport scroll while you're TPing out. Is that correct? Yeah, you can. You just can't use TP scrolls, but you can use the teleportation ability. So for him, it's really effective. Other heroes, if they can pop Ghost Scepter, but then they're pretty much, they have to try and run away normally. But Prophet can actually use his teleport ability while in Ghost form. So for him, this is a get out of jail free card, and he gets one pretty much, what is it, every 15, 20 seconds? So every 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get caught in that smoke screen, I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed that he can get out of there. So it's a nice little pickup for him. That was just some amazing TA play, because he dodged 2 screams, and then he also dodged the Sonic Wave with that refraction. I mean, he looked royally screwed there. They had the dust coming in as well, but he managed to keep himself alive, and Queen of Pain thought, okay, I've used 2 screams, I've done a bunch of right clicks, surely refraction's not up, but he recast it to dodge a Sonic Wave as well, so... Pacific.Emaxx still looking pretty decent here. Yasha treads up on Ricky, and he's starting to build towards that diffuser blade. He's got another Blade of Alacrity, so he's actually kept up alright. And Ricky's, I mean, a much better mid-game hero than a Gyrocopter, I just feel. Even a really farmed Gyrocopter, who's still ahead in net worth, but not by a huge margin anymore.
He's ahead a lot, but the one downside of this build, you go for Helm of the Dominator, it's really not going to help you at this stage of the game. The lifesteal from Gyrocopter, on paper, it sounds pretty nice, 150 damage per attack. But the reality is his attack speed's just not that high. You're not lifestealing from the additional flat cannon auto attacks. You only lifesteal from that primary attack. And realistically, I think you're either living or dying with your nukes at this point in the game. So that's 2,000 gold not going towards a damage item like a Diffusal Blade. And it will help him eventually. You can see he continues to stack up these Ancients very effectively. Good micro with the camp towards that Ancient stack on the bottom side of the map. But again, he needs more items, and they just need to buy time for him. Oh, Prophet. Uh-oh. Chin thinking about going in. The rocket flying through. Prophet's going to TP out. He will get away. This rocket is going to be a total nuisance. Cyan is trapped. He is so dead. Edict comes in, and he can't stand against this. They have a Ward Gods. They are prepared this time. Wisp tethers in. Wisp tries to relocate back out, but just missed it. Almost saved her friend there, but instead she's dead now. She's coming right back, and that's going to be a double kill for Xplicit.
Oh, poor Wisp. There's no way to get out unless he gets another miracle tether off. It's not going to happen. Ricky's thinking about going in. He's actually enraged at that Central, and he gets pinged, so they did spot him out there, but Ricky's going to head back towards mid. Ricky needs to farm this Diffusal Blade. That's going to be the counter to these Ghost Scepters. You can get rid of it with a Diffusal Blade, but right now, he just can't team fight, and they're going for a tier 2 here. They're going to get it, because it's already nice and low from that early game push, so... Pacific.Emaxx looking to be in a solid position here. They're getting up some more towers here, and this is what they need to do. Just keep buying time for Gyrocopter to farm, because that's a hero who just needs ridiculous amounts of items to do any damage. And he's finished off his Manta style, and we're just 18 minutes in.
He's keeping ahead. He's not really pulling even farther and farther ahead. He's sort of sitting around that 1,500, 1,600 gold. But as he gets more items up, you get to a point with Gyrocopter where Flat Cannon just kills an entire creep wave in 3-4 auto attacks, and that's where you can really accelerate your farm. He's got the Manta up. That's his first big item. The next item, we'll have to see what it's going to be. Oftentimes you'll see just raw damage items, things like Crystallis, going into a Daedalus, things like MKB. Again, Shadowblade is a possibility, although if he hasn't gone for it yet, he's probably not opting for it. But, you know, even just something like an Aghanims wouldn't be too bad now, just to give you that split push. I feel this lineup can kind of split push their opponents to death. As now they've got the Ghost Scepter up on the Prophet, they've got these survivability items. If they want to try and just stall the game out, that's not a bad way to go. But if he wants to go raw damage, probably something like an MKB, maybe a Butterfly would be the choice. Here comes the big Roshan clash. Ooh. They gotta go soon. This Roshan is dropping quickly. And are they gonna steal it? Riki jumps in. There's your tether. Stunning the Gyrocopter. Cluster mass in the pit for the moment. Gyrocopter still disabled. Queen of Pain assassinates the Riki, and now Wisp looks to be dead. Wisp will go down. Tan in a lot of trouble. This is looking like an absolute disaster contesting this Roshan, GoDz.
Oh yeah, Queen of Pain's position was perfectly placed outside of that smoke screen. I mean, expecting Riki to come in, Queen of Pain just wasn't standing next to the rest of his team and managed to get off the ultimate, the scream, and I feel like they went in too soon. Roshan still has a lot of HP. They wanted to maybe wait, try and steal the Aegis, and TA! He does steal it! Wow. He's dead though, but hey, you stole an Aegis. You accomplished something pretty flashy, but he's gonna go down twice. He's gonna pay for
Look at this. He's tree trapped. Alright,
he may get a blink. He could get a blink off. The edict's one off. He could blink out. He does do so. Refract gets popped. He may live.
Really?
He needs to get out.
Really?
He needs to just run.
It's cooling down. 9 seconds
Stun and
to go.
edict.
He's got it.
Well, the stun missed. There's a sentry. There we go. That should be the end. Maybe not. Maybe not. No, he's dead.
But this bought a little time for the Riki to farm in the bottom lane. The rest of the team was able to get out of there. Or at least come back to life in some cases and start farming again. It's not a good fight by any means, but hey, at least he wastes a little bit of extra time. At this point, the mechanism, you know, we talked about utility items, so one of the ones that has to be mentioned is this mechanism on the Prophet. It really helps negate the power of the Wiki Wrist. You jump in, you do a bunch of damage, he mechs his team up, and, you know, suddenly you're not getting the quick kills. Riki Wisp is all about instantly killing off opponents and having that 5v4 advantage, sort of like an Ethereal Blade Morphling, but if you don't get off to a good start, it can be dealt with, and I gotta say, these hero picks and the way Xplicit is played with their item choices, really doing a good job here.
Yeah, not to mention, I mean, you also get the plus armor from the mech, so it makes it a really effective item to buy. I mean, we can see the Radiant team there getting close to having a mech finished on the Wisp, but it just doesn't really counter the opposing team's lineup quite as hard. I mean, you've got some AoE coming out of the Queen of Pain, the Flat Cannon AoE as well, but it really feels like this early mech for Prophet's having a much greater impact. Not to mention, you get bonus heal when you use that Ghost Scepter before you use the mech as well. You get the extra heal from that, so it makes it a bit more effective. So, really smart combo of items.
Do you really? You get bonus heal?
I'm pretty sure, man. It's like you take bonus. It's like how you take bonus damage. You get bonus heal, man. In ethereal form.
That is news to me. That's pretty exciting. If that's
I don't know.
Case.
I'm probably
the whole team's got Ghost Scepters, so
I'm probably making it up. We need Lumi on the case. He would know.
Lumi, he might know. He might know. That is obscure either way. But yeah, if it works, it's fantastic. And even if not, the mech's still a great item. So we're just trying to make it sound even better than it already is, as though you guys need an excuse to buy Mechanism. Mech is like toilet paper, man. You just gotta have some.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, very passive, slow sort of pace of the game right now. I gotta say that definitely favors this lineup with the free farm Gyrocopter. And for the moment, I think and the Prophet, the Queen of Pain, I think they're pretty content with the way the game's going. Whereas for the Radiant, gotta try and force something, and so far, just not able to do so.
Yeah, and the Dire just keep continuing to look for these pickoffs. I mean, like, they were hunting down here as a bottom lane, and Emaxx, I mean, they're going for this sort of split pressure at the moment. I mean, they still want this TA to get some more farm, some more items, but it's really, this point, they can't teamfight. I mean, the Wisp Riki is all about getting those solo kills around the map. They don't want to go for a big-scale teamfight when they're up against a team with all these Ghost Scepters, mech, and, I mean, now, the Necrobook coming up on Prophet, I mean, the item choices is really, it's spot on at the moment. I'm worried about the Gyrocopter, but it doesn't feel like it even matters what Gyrocopter does. He's kind of just there to watch.
Yeah, it does feel like any carry farming style hero could be making a similar impact right now. I love Gyrocopter, but I gotta say, we're not really seeing anything unique so far, aside from just the amount of farm he's getting in the top lane. He's been in a lot of trouble. The Riki Wisp is here. Cloud gets dropped, but they are taking so much damage. The Wisp is almost dead. Oh no, she goes down, and now this gank is over, folks. And now they gotta try and book it on out of there. Dust onto the Riki, still running. There will be another blink, catching him out. Blinks onto a creep, not able to dodge anything with that. The Shadow Strike slowing down. The Dust wears off, so they have more detection. No more detection, so he will escape. But again, the Riki Wisp combo. If Wisp dies, oh, bottom lane. Oh no, this could be bad. Windrunner dropping. Kayuchi, the support. Leshrac solo killing the Windrunner. Prophet comes in the end, but the Chen micro. Testa basically set up. Will he get more? I don't know that he will, but great individual play there by the Chen. Don making something out of nothing.
Yeah, and Don's actually picked up a Midas, so that's interesting pickup there, partly to do with the Enchantress keeps, but also to help deal with the Necrobooks that's going to be coming from this Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet TP gets cancelled. Chen, Don once again, chain stuns Don, and Don ensnared up as well. Some great Chen micro here. Now the TP comes with the Ghost Scepter. There's not enough disables. Needed to save one more.
What a troll. What a troll. And meanwhile, top lane, it looks like Riki did go down. 813 gets the pick off there. Riki just continuing to die. These heroes are the heroes that he wants to be killing, and he's just getting picked off one by one. Maybe he was actually lagged out during that engagement, which would be rather unfortunate. He does disconnect from the game. Middle lane, and comes the pressure from Gyrocopter. What is he going to be building as his next item? We'll have the answer soon. Eagle saw him picked up. It could be an Ethereal Blade, but he's gone for a lot of right-click items, so most likely it will be a Butterfly. Windrunner blinking onto her, slowed by Enchantress. Windrun just not going to be enough. Don't think she'll be able to run away from this unless Wisp brings her back to base. He will do so. But again, that ult being used defensively, really not what you're hoping for. They'll be porting back into the middle of this. This could be bad, gods. Oh, this could be bad.
Oh no, he's off to the side apparently.
No, they get ported back to where the Wisp was. So
okay. Alright, they're doing all they can to hold at this point in the game. I mean, it's really not the position they want to be in. They just can't engage. I mean, this strong team fight coming out from Xplicit. Riki just sort of using Blink Strike to harass, to poke, and then just backs off immediately after a Blink Strike. They're really on their last legs. This is a loser bracket. If they lose this, they're out of this qualifier. They can still play the Philippines one, but for the moment, things looking very bad for Emaxx.
I may have to turn on some OLATs if that happens, God. That would be a very sad for all the Pinoy out there. Yeah, once this Gyrocopter gets a Butterfly and he's got a Manta style, I don't think you can kill him off. And again, like you said, he hasn't really been the primary damage dealer or difference maker so far this game, but eventually, you give a hero enough damage items, it could be a Crystal Maiden, and she will out-damage your carries. Maybe not a Crystal Maiden, but just about any other hero. And he's getting there. He's going to have a Butterfly soon, and he continues to farm these Ancients. Look at how disciplined and diligent he's been with stacking them. Every time I look over that camp, it's at least 3-4 Ancients there. He's never just farming one at a time, and he's never coming here before it's stacked up. Ryan, I gotta give him a lot of credit for his efficiency on the Gyrocopter this game. Top lane, TA taking some damage. There's a gem up on Queen of Pain. He's gotta fight, or he might try to TP out. TP Cheese going the other way this time, and he'll escape, but TA really doesn't want to be running 1v1 from Queen of Pain. If that's happening, you got a problem.
Oh yeah, and I mean, this Queen of Pain's pretty damn massive. I mean, you've got the Ags, the Ghost Scepter. I mean, could turn that into the Ethereal Blade, like you mentioned. It does combo pretty well with the Scream as well as the Sonic Wave to increase the damage that you're dealing. So, not the worst item, and also just, it's great for helping out teammates. If Riki or TA is on one of your teammates who maybe doesn't have a Ghost Scepter up at the time, it could be on cooldown, could have just worn off, or it could have been diffused. Using that Ethereal Blade on one of those two heroes can actually really be a nice defensive tool as well. So, it makes it a decent pickup for Queen of Pain, who may want to go for that. And once again, Xplicit, they just want to march down this mid lane. They feel now maybe with this Butterfly up on Gyrocopter, they can probably do just about anything.
Right, and it's also the Necro 3 on the Prophet, the mechanism on him, the Ghost Scepters on all these support heroes. What does the Enchantress have? Just the Treads. So nothing too big, and the Ethereal Blade is coming. Maybe they want to wait for that, because that is easily an instant kill. The other thing is TA and Riki don't have BKBs. That makes Ethereal Blade extra effective. Here comes the big, massive stuff just barreling down the middle lane, and oh man, oh god. TA has to run from this ball. She cannot fight it. Gyrocopter chewing through that tower will drop very quickly. And are they going to go and check on two? This is the moment. This is the time, and they're going to get him. No, Manta's out. Look at that evasion, 35%, just too damn much. But the Gyrocopter gets dropped. He will finally go down, and gods, they are defending. Wow, great play. What a shackle by Jotan.
Yeah, big shackles. It's like the only way they can defend is to land those big shackles, and they do it, and they fold up well. Riki's finished off a full Sanjin Yasha, so wanted some extra HP. Hasn't got the defuse yet. They need to catch more, and that's what they're trying to do here. Leshrac gets away from the first trap, and Riki Wisp, they've gone in. Leshrac is going to be the target. He's got the Ghost Scepter. He's not even going to pop it. Wouldn't have saved his life anyway, so they get 2 kills out of that, and I feel that's what they needed.
Butterfat's got a Dagon. He wants to go here. He wants to find that solo pickoff. Not opting for the Ethereal Blade, which I couldn't do the math offhand, but I feel like it would be a little bit damage overall. But yeah, Chen is so dead. Oh my god, the humanity. That is just not right. That is just not fair. And now Cyan, next in line. Can he TP out? Blink dodge, TP away, and there's no Hex, there's no Yules. He escapes. What a play. But again, it is escaping, not killing.
That's the one weakness for this style lamp, is they're not very disable heavy. They've only got the Leshrac stun and the Gyrocopter homing missile. I mean, you can't even really include homing missile as a reliable disable, but they're not very disable heavy, but they just dominated the lanes and outfarmed their opponents well enough that it doesn't really matter at this stage in the game. And the disables, the Windrunner Shackle Shot, is really the only thing that's going to keep Emaxx in it for now. But they're still in a position where they can fight. As long as they're sort of have that high ground advantage fighting from their own base, they can take those fights like we just saw. The problem is going to be Xplicit are going to do just that. They know Roshan's about to respawn. They're going to take it, farm up those Ancients once again, maybe first. Gyrocopter's there with a bit of a mini stack, and I mean, this Gyrocopter's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger.
You know, I'll get. I said he was perfect with his stacking. I gotta say, I think he missed a stack or two in the middle of that massive team fight mid, but I suppose we can cut him some slack for that, as he will get his third stack going here. And yeah, you're right, it will be a new Aegis for him, which he did not have in that last fight. And I assume they give it to him this time. It could be the Queen of Pain, I suppose, who now has the Dagon level 2. And the burst damage for this lineup, it's filthy, man. It is absolutely filthy. And I don't think there's a pipe on the Radiant squad. No pipe for them, no BKBs. This build is very effective in this situation. This is not a troll build, this is not a pub stomp build. This works. They're squishy, and getting those quick pickoffs pretty much wins you the fight.
Oh yeah, no, it's the way to go. And I mean, Emaxx, they kind of want to make a go for this, but it's only Windrunner and Chen here. They could easily just get completely snapped to pieces here. I'm not too sure about this. TA comes in from above. First Ghost Scepter gets popped by the Enchantress. And there's your Aegis in the hands of Gyrocopter with Riki TPM, but they're just not doing enough damage, I feel.
Oh, the assassination by Queen of Pain, instantly killing off the Windrunner. Now they chase on the Riki. Riki spot out by the gem, cannot escape. Chen next to
line. Safe.
No, back to base. Survives. What a defensive play. But in the end, Chen pays for that one. Don will be punished heavily. Prophet TP's in over the top. Queen of Pain has another Dagon recipe on the way pretty soon. In fact, it might be on the curry now. No, that's an ultimate orb for someone. Maybe it's like the Vice being worked on, but either way, here comes the big Deathfall mid, and I think finally they're out of gas cuts. Finally, sadly for all the Pinoy fans out there, it looks like Pacific.Emaxx is probably going to lose Rax here, and with that, it may just be the game.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult to fight this team in the late game. I mean, I don't really value Gyrocopter as a late game carry, but I don't think it's even about the Gyrocopter. It's about the Queen of Pain, the Nature's Prophet, just killing heroes. I mean, Gyrocopter's played amazingly. He's played the hero perfectly, but he just hasn't had an impact on the game that much because of his hero. And oh, that's one pick off. They get the gem as well. It's on the ground. Can they pick it up? No, Queen of Pain actually grabs it. So gem's still in the hands of Xplicit. They're on the run. Great shackle shot. TA, the splash. It is splashing through. Is it doing enough? Nature's Prophet could go down here to the Riki. Risky still alive. So low on HP. He blinks up onto the cliff. How does he do that?
What the hell was up there?
Oh, man.
I have no idea, man. I did not catch that.
I think he tried to blink to the Wisp, but it took him to the top of the cliff, and then he blinked down onto the neutral creeps. Like, I don't know what, but that was some ninja moves coming out of Riki.
You know, like, obviously he blinked up there, but I just didn't see anything to blink to that was on the cliff, so yeah, I'm absolutely every bit as confused as you are. They still have not killed this Gyrocopter once, let alone twice. There's the ultimate. Chad, look at the damage! Oh, he's just gonna get obliterated here. Prophet ult bounces through. Queen of Pain, no mana. Charging in, gonna lose that gem. Ghost Scepter available, not being popped. He will pay for that. Now Riki in trouble. He's gotta try and run away from this one, but no! Shackle again! The Ghost Scepter's just trolling, stalling. Hayuchi being such a menace, but test of faith, the pure damage amped up, just absolutely out of control, gets the kill there, again, still not killing the Gyrocopter, and if you can't kill a guy with this many items, he's gonna make you pay. A little disappointing to see this one end quite so one-sided, but it was a blast, man, it was a blast.
Some entertaining picks. The first time I've seen Gyrocopter succeed as a carry in some ways. Someone in chat kind of comparing it to like a Luna, but a less effective Luna. If this was a Luna who had this much farm, I feel like it would be a lot more effective. I don't see the reason to pick Gyro over a Luna, not to mention Luna's great at farming those Ancients and neutral stacks, but hey, they made Gyro work. They kind of proved an unconventional carry that can still be useful. As Riki puts up one last fight, gets a kill, goes down. Insta buyback, and let's see if they can maybe hold a bit longer. But really, Emaxx, this looks like their exit.
Butterfat, man, just assassinating. Butterfat will pay for that assassination, though. Yes, he will. The Secret Service is here in the form of Chin, and his Chin is going to work. This Satyr is really earning his cape. Triple kill for him. He wants more, but there's nothing else to kill right now. That Leshrac is back at base. I believe just respawned, but the throne is exposed, and it is just a slow but steady decline. Gyrocopter, how is he back in the fight? I guess that's the Aegis respawning pretty back to a lot of.
It's gonna fight. Just fight your way up, man. Just fight. Just turn and fight. You've got life steal. There we go. Get the whiz. Oh, the mech. The mech saved that whiz. That was all the mech.
With this many items, at life steal and evasion, can't lose that fight. I mean, you put that on a Morphling, you put that on an anti-mage, and I feel that's just a quad killer there. But Gyrocopters, as much as I love this little guy, you know, he needs so much. He needs so much. He needed this team to be supporting him. Playing beautifully 4+1 all game long, and well, they made it work. Well, even we can see some weaknesses of the hero. Even
with the 4+1, I still feel like it's not really Gyrocopter doing anything. I mean, nothing against the player; it's against the hero. This is all about Gyro hate. The hero is completely near useless. I mean, but when you've got a team who outplays your opponents and just out-strategizes them, I mean, obviously it can work. It could be a Spirit Breaker, it could be a Drow Ranger, but right now it is the Gyrocopter getting some fame thanks to Xplicit. Kyuchi though in trouble, Ghost Scepter, he's found Templar Assassin at top.
Oh really?
Chester later. Come on, one more right click, one more meld hit. TA wins that one, barely. Kill that gem, kill that gem.
Barely. Gyrocopter is ending the game now, just pressuring that tower. A massive army of illusions.
He's had enough.
And the Manta. And that's it! GG! And it goes the way, unfortunately, not a Pacific.Emaxx for the Pinoy fans out there, but Xplicit, they shut down the vaunted Riki Wisp combo. First time I've seen it lose in Southeast Asian Dota, but hey, we can see it has some weaknesses. And again, you know, missing Biobus, missing some key players this match, but Xplicit played well. Let's give them credit for that.
Yeah, Xplicit played well, and I mean, they're a team who's been around for a bit of a while now. They've had some roster changes here and there, but looking pretty strong there, looking decent. Kyuchi's always been with them. He's been their captain, and taking down Pacific.Emaxx, no small feat, even though they are new to Dota 2, are still adjusting. We'll have to see them maybe in the upcoming Philippines qualifier for this tournament. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks, LD. That was fun. I'm not sure if there'll be another game or not, or if the following games will be starting tomorrow night. It is about midnight in Southeast Asia, so I think this may be the last game. We'll have a quick check. But thanks for joining me, man. It made it a lot more fun. And I know you love your Pinoy Dota.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was definitely a treat. And if there are more games and you want me along still, I'm happy to cast with you. If you're sick of me already and you kick me out, I'll understand.
I don't know. I feel like casting with Pew Pew, the guy from Vietnam, was actually kind of entertaining. As it's one of those things
where... He
was
funny, man. He was funny.
I just wanted to like listen to him cast and just laugh, because it was some of the stuff he said. I'm just like, I would never like phrase it that way. It's one of those things where it's like where English is someone's second language, they suddenly become really, some of the stuff they say, it makes perfect sense. And just like, I would never say it like that, even though it still makes sense. But it was great.
I was having a blast, especially he kept on talking about the Windrunner trying to Windrun away and how she's not running away from this. I think he said it like 20 times, and every time that Windrunner being played by the manager was just so screwed. Cyan was having a hard time that game. Yeah, he's a funny guy. I really enjoyed his casting.
Anyways, guys, that was LD. You can find him on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LD Dota. I'm GoDz, GGNet GoDz on Facebook and Twitter. Also on YouTube, but YouTube it's GoDz Studios. We'll be back soon, hopefully, with another live game. If not, I'll be saying goodbye in just a second.
And the people, they want Olats, guys. They want their Olats.
Oh, Olats it is. I mean, that's actually Emaxx completely knocked out, so I guess it's only appropriate.
See, GoDz is a harsh match. You really got to earn these song requests, guys. With me, it's like, yeah, I'll throw it on most of the time. Except Gangnam Style, because everybody wants that song. But Olats it is.